Hey guys, how we going? Just turning the volume down on my laptop. Let me know if you guys can hear me all right. You know the drill. Hey Cam, how you going, mate? How's everyone doing? Hey Brad. Hey Coop, how you going? Oh, Loki's heard me come down here and he started to stick his head out of his little hide box. You might think that I've got some food. Sorry, mate. You'll be sadly disappointed. It's been a little while since I've done a little live stream, so I figured now's about a time as any. Now's as good a time as any. I'll kick it off with getting my little rough scale out over here. Just basking up on his rock ledge. His or hers? I think hers. Yeah, I'm doing good. So, been a bit of a rough week in a sense, but I'm feeling pretty good today. Crap resolution. That's no good. Hopefully, I've got full bars on my end of my Wi-Fi, so hopefully it's not me. We'll see how it plays out. I know sometimes it takes a little bit for my Wi-Fi to kind of grab on okay. Oh, that's good, man. That's good. I haven't got one of the roughies out for a play for a little while, so thought I may as well grab one while I had the opportunity. They're absolutely digging the enclosure. They're already starting to make a bit of a mess of it, but that's all right. Mondays are my maintenance days here, so I'll get right in and stuck into that tomorrow. Starting to get a little bit of size on them now, which is nice. Polishing off adult mice with ease. Hey, Aiden. Sorry, guys. I'm blind as a bat, so I need to bend down to the laptop and read the tiny print. How's everybody's animals doing this week? Hopefully everything's starting to warm up a little bit for you guys as well, and a few critters are cruising about. No, I haven't been bitten by these guys at all. Actually, I lie. I did get bitten by the male. I'm pretty sure this is the female, or the supposed female. I did get bitten by him when I was first keeping them. And these guys, when they were in the snake rack over the other side that I demolished not too long ago, they were pretty defensive in there. So I did get to see those awesome big threat displays, which was pretty cool. But I haven't seen any of that in this big enclosure, so I just think that that's probably them getting a little bit more comfortable. You know, they've maybe just relaxed in a nicer environment. The enclosure's going really well as well, so the plants are growing in quite nicely. These guys keep kind of scooting over one in the corner here and destroying it, but the big I don't even know what it's called. I can't remember what it is. I think it's called marbled queen, or that's the variety of it anyway. That's growing like a weed now, so I reckon that's going to take over this enclosure, which will be quite cool. And one day I'll start propagating it as well, and getting a few little offcuts and generating a few more plants for around the place. Oh man, if you guys don't know who Cam is, Cam's a bit of a legend from down in the Illawarra region, or down that way, and he's making some awesome backgrounds for his enclosures. He's been sending me photos for a little while now of this particular one, and it's looking fantastic. It's just so good. It honestly looks like probably universal rock quality. I think once he gets it painted, it's going to look phenomenal. It's going to look great. So I'm excited to see that. Oh, what am I breeding this season? Well, I can tell you that I'm not getting children's pythons anymore, because that clutch went really, really bad, unfortunately. So, you know, that's just the way things go sometimes. Where are you off to? You're going to make Loki all excited about food. Yeah, so I won't be, unfortunately, breeding any children's or getting any children's babies. I'm going pretty hard for the the blotch blue tongues, the Gillons. I really want to nail those two down because I had a bit of a bad year with both species last year. I'm trying diamond pythons, so that'll be cool if I get them. But again, it's just one of those things I just got to wait and see what happens, really. What else am I doing? I think I've got a gravid marble velvet gecko. I'm pretty sure I got some of the Wyberba leafies gravid as well, so I'll just have to play that by ear. Potentially my beaded geckos. I reckon they might go again. My common eastern froglets and my green stream frogs as well. I'm going to give a crack because I haven't really bred frogs before, so it'll be kind of interesting to see how they go. Gillons have gone up in price recently. I have seen them being sold for about $400 for a hatchie, which in my opinion is a little bit steep. I think I usually average them about 400 thereabouts. So awesome little yeah, I do need some baby green tree pythons. Unfortunately, my young green tree's not only unsexed, but probably a little bit too small to go in with the big girl that I've got here. So one day I will get it. I've just got to keep the little buggers, can stop them escaping. They seem to be the ultimate Houdinis here. Yeah, the Gillons monitors, I generally do them for anywhere between about 350 to 450. Sorry, 350 to 400 in that sort of vicinity. And I've got a really, really long waiting list. So for you bioactive, let me know if you get anything. Yeah, no Drowdums, man. A cool little gecko around on. I've certainly considered crocs, Charlie. I'd love to have them, but we're not allowed them up here. So New South Wales, you need a demonstrator's license if you're going to be keeping crocs, to my understanding. Not to mention the fact that they need a ridiculous amount of space. So I'll probably be moving into an apartment shortly, so crocodiles aren't the best thing for an apartment. Yeah. I'm not even sure what I'm going to be doing with old Loki here. You guys just missed that. He just decided to think that the rough scale was food. It's a good thing there's glass in between them. I might let you go back in there, mate. He's a bit of a psycho, and tomorrow's feeding day for him, so he's been a bit hungry for a couple of days now. So he just came teeth out everywhere. You're a little bugger, aren't you? I'm trying to hurt the poor rough scale python. I don't know if you guys can see this. He's right here. He really wanted to chomp on that thing. They're not for eating. They're friends. Carnivorous lizards, hey? Where did I get Loki? I just got him off another hobbyist who happened to have him as a juvenile. I'm going to sit there all good like. I don't eat my fingers. Yeah, so, yeah, I got him 3 years ago, I think now. He's a beautiful lizard. You're a bit of a handful, though. Let's be honest. Yeah, so he's a fantastic little animal. His water desperately needs a water change, so that's on tomorrow morning's to-do list. Yep. A lot of water in, a lot of water out. Just the way it goes with this guy. So it's all part in owning him. But I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen with this guy. So if I do move into an apartment, board him, should you call it, at his place for a while and see how we go there. But we'll see how we go. We'll talk about that when it kind of comes to crunch time. Hey, Kurt, how you going, mate? Nice to see you on the live chat. Mangroves are nuts. He's a complete psycho, that guy. Just having a look at his back. He's got a bit of a funny spot on his back. I don't think it's a burn. I think he's just sort of a bit of stuck shit or something like that on his back. But dopey lizard. Dopey lizard indeed. Oh, get you guys up here. Oh. What about everybody else? What's everybody else trying to breed this year? One of the blotchies that that Coop got off me has been apparently doing an absolute awesome job at breeding some girls up there. So hopefully Coop should get a stack of blotchies out this year. I'm hoping for at least one litter, if not 3 if I'm lucky. So that'll be cool. We'll see what happens. Springtails. Yeah, aren't we all? I've got springtails galore here at the moment, but I need to feed them up a little bit more. I've been a bit lazy on feeding them, so I think I've got 12 containers, 12 or 14 containers of springtails going, like decent sized tubs. So we'll see how they crack on. They're taking a little bit to get off the ground, to be honest, those new ones that I started up. We'll see how that goes. At least springtails are easy to breed. Just a bit of time, a bit of patience, and a bit of yeast. Nothing too exciting. Oh, that's good to hear, Cam. Finally got them off the ground. That's awesome. Oh, Boyd's blotchies and Western blue tongues are all going at it at the moment. Oh, I'd love to get my hands on some Westerns, but, you know, transitional phase of moving into a smaller place is probably not the best idea. Not right now, anyway. I've got to figure out what I'm doing with this lot. But Western blue tongues, they've got to be one of my favourites. So I'm very jealous of your blue tongues, Coop. You've got a really nice collection there. I'm trying to get 2 blue tongues so I can breed. I just finished a 120 centimetre by 120 centimetre outdoor pit. Awesome. What did you build the outdoor pit out of? Did you do kind of like the corrugated iron similar to what Coop did, or did you kind of fashion something up in timber, or you have to drop us another comment and see how you did there? That's awesome, Cam. I think mine just about stalled my my slaters. They don't seem to be doing a hell of a lot, to be honest. I still got them there, but there's a few babies kicking around. I think my problem is I tend to distribute them too quickly, so I just need to kind of either find more or bring more in and make a few more up. Pardon me. Jeez. It's pretty rude. Yeah, but as far as animals are going, all my guys are pretty much awake now, starting to eat me out of house and home. I'll get my little year-old faithful bearded dragon out. Hey, mate. I won't let Loki get you. He's all nice and locked in. Yeah, they're all waking up, all definitely eating a lot, which is good. Blue tongues outside, they're starting to get into food now, which is awesome. The Cunninghams outside is starting to get into food. The wild colony of Perron's tree frogs I've been feeding as well, which I probably shouldn't because it's costing me money to feed wild frogs, but I enjoy having them around, to be honest, and I enjoy their croaking and their antics. We got a few comments coming in here. Bo Hammond, hey Luke. So far, only my central beardies have dropped eggs as of yet. Nice clutch of 22 eggs last night. Oh, wicked! That's awesome. I'm not the biggest fan of central bearded dragons. I say that in the nicest way. Like, I love them as an animal, but I think there's other cool animals out there. But something like this little dude here, I'd never get rid of him. He's just such a placid little lizard. So I can hand him off to anybody as well. So that's what Sandra's really awesome for. Yeah, they're slow going compared to the springtails. They sure are. Yeah, slaters definitely take their time. Sort of like my outdoor turtle pit enclosure. Oh, cool. Yeah, well, I mean, as long as they're going to stay inside of it, then that's the main thing, isn't it? So I really like that. I'd use that for blotchies. I've actually considered at one point or another to, potentially get rid of the the turtles. This is a long time ago, and then turn that into a blotchy pit. But yeah, haven't bothered at the moment. Yeah, slaters are way slower than other stuff. Yeah, they take time, especially the big roly-poly ones. That's what I've noticed. The ones that don't roll up tend to breed a little bit quicker, whereas the guys that are, the big ones that roll up, I haven't really cracked success with those too much, to be honest. I get a few little babies here and there, but nothing to write home about. I'm trying to make some water dragon cages. I'm thinking of half land, half water, outdoor tub with chicken wire on top of them. Oh, yeah. That'd be pretty cool. I just use a fine wire if you're going to do anything. I personally like the PVC coated wire that you can get from Bunnings. It's like a maybe 12 mil by 12 mil square hole mesh, and it's like a dark green PVC, like what I've got on my turtle enclosure outdoors. It's really good to be able to see inside the enclosure, and yeah, it stops a lot of that glare. Whereas if you're using like galvanized mesh, for example, you actually get a hell of a lot of glare coming back off that mesh, so you can't see your animals as easily. So it's worth a little bit of extra money, and it also prevents a little bit of rust too. It does rust eventually once you get a few nicks and things in there over time as it weathers, so you will need to replace any mesh pretty much at some stage. But yeah, that's cool. Oh, I'll pop him back up in there. Whoop. Somebody's running around. I think it might be one of the little baby boys that have been going nuts today. I shouldn't say babies anymore. Geez, they're eating me out of house and home and growing like weeds. Yeah. Well, as long as it's a decent mesh, painted matte black, easy. Yeah. The other reason that I like the smaller mesh is it's less likely to get other animals in, like little frogs and things like that get caught by animals that are in there. I think I've got a hole in my mesh somewhere where I do my water changes and things, which I kind of bend in and out to let a hose through. And I think the Perron's tree frogs have discovered how to get in there, and I keep pulling them out because I'm scared that they're going to become turtle food one day. So, yeah, take that into consideration too, unless you don't mind your animals eating a few bits of wildlife here and there. Up to you. Thanks, Coop. Thanks for jumping in. Glad to see you jumping on here, mate. What age do bearded dragons breed? I'd honestly say like probably 18 months if they're a decent size. That comes down to maturity as well. Yeah, 18 months if you get them to a good size in that sort of time frame, I'd say is probably the earliest you could breed them. At least males. Females you could probably do as well, but it's a lot of pressure on the lizard. Yeah. Oh, I love lacies. I'd love to have some one day. If my plans all went to fruition, I would have had lacies in this place that I was planning to move to. But it just wasn't meant to be. That's all right. Yeah, it was a baby boy just bouncing around, jumping all over the enclosure. They've actually killed a few of their plants in there. I think it's just because they're just getting bigger and bouncing around. The ficus is doing really well. The fig. Ficus? It's a fig. It's a ficus. I think they're one of the same. Yeah, one day, mate. It'll happen. I just need a bit more equity. So we'll get our foot in the door first. That's okay. That's all good fun. I've had experience with this big oaf over here anyway, so it's giving me a bit of an evil. He wasn't allowed to eat the rough scale python. I'm also getting some green tree frogs from a mate. I've set up the bioactive enclosure, but do you have any tips? If they're, I'm assuming that you're meaning Latoria corella, like the actual big green tree frogs. I'd probably imagine that you're not going to keep too many live plants in there for too long, just because they are quite a decent size. If they're young, then, you'll probably be right. But yeah, as they get bigger, I'd imagine they're going to be crushing a lot of plants. So have some good plant choice. I'm sure there's some people out there that have really good plant choice for those bigger sort of frogs. I haven't really dealt with it myself yet. I'd imagine some decent sized pathos and stuff might be able to handle it a little bit better than some of the finickier, finer stuff. But yeah, just see how it goes. I'm sure somebody else might be able to jump in with some tips. Know anyone selling blueies? Not at the moment, I don't. It's kind of the wrong time of year, actually. So yeah, maybe in a few months' time. Give it to Chrissy. There might be somebody out there that's got some left over from last season. You can eventually get him back when you have a bigger place, or just leave him as the high-tech mascot. Yeah, if I had that option, I probably would, to be honest. But unfortunately, with New South Wales pet shop licensing laws, that is not a possibility. And it's really sad, actually, because we can only keep certain reptiles in high-tech, and it's very limiting. So hopefully one day it will become a little bit easier access to get some of the basic R1 animals and stuff. But at the moment, we're allowed to keep, what are we allowed to keep? So smooth knobtail geckos, just Levis. Underwoodosaurus millii, so the thick-tailed geckos, pygmy bearded dragons, central bearded dragons, Murray River turtles, long-necked turtles, eastern blue-tongued skinks, spotted pythons, children's pythons, Centralian carpet pythons, Murray-Darling carpet pythons, jungle carpet pythons, coastal carpet pythons, imbricata of all things, so western carpet pythons. I think I'm missing Darwins. Darwins, we're allowed to keep Darwins. And I think I'm missing a carpet python there because it's about 16 different species that we're allowed to actually keep. Funnily enough, we can't keep things like Stimson's pythons or pygmy pythons or diamond pythons. No womas, no blackheads, definitely no monitors, any of that sort of stuff. So very, very limited. Otherwise, I reckon that would be high on the cards. Could have convinced my boss, but because it wasn't an option, I've never actually asked about it. So we'll see. As I said, like if he does go off to this particular place, he's going to be going off to a good home that I can keep a close eye on him and stuff. And I'm sure I'd be allowed to go and visit and things. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Got a little Gillen's monitor running around down the bottom here as well. Oh, nice, mate. He's just turned around and taken a poo in front of me. That's awesome. Hey, Luke, can you explain how you made your misters for your frogs? I'm setting up a frog wall and I'm stumped at how I can mist all of them together in one system. So I can explain how I did it. It is a bit of an expensive option, I'm not going to lie, unless you can find it secondhand like I did. I bought a Mist King system. So it's an actual product that comes with a pump and you essentially set up a reservoir, whether that be like a 20-litre bucket like mine or some sort of container that it can suck water from. But yeah, so you essentially set up a reservoir and it pumps on a timer. So you just set up the timer as to when you want it to spray, when you want it to kind of mist your animals and stuff. So, and then you got to buy like all the nozzles and stuff individually. So I think they do different kits. I'm not sure who actually has them in Australia, but if you look up Mist King Australia, there'll be somebody that'll be selling it in Australia. I think like if you're doing a brand new kit, you are looking at like something like $600 odd for a new kit. So it's not cheap. Mine's definitely the old style. I've got like one of the older timers, not the digital timers. It's a bit more like it is digital, but it's a bit more like an analog sort of timer in a sense. It's kind of hard to explain. So yeah, it's a very good system. I definitely recommend them hands down. I'm very lucky that a friend of mine was getting out of the hobby, had a spare system, so he's actually going to keep one. But he wanted to move one on, and I picked it up for an absolute bargain. I couldn't say no to it, and I don't regret buying it at all because it's come in so handy. Like I just have to once every few weeks fill up the reservoirs, and I know my animals are getting a light misting a couple of times a day. I don't have it come on a lot. I think I've got it for about 15 or 20 seconds about midday, and then I've got another kind of like evening shower, so about another 15, 20 seconds. So it's not like we're getting a lot of water. And it does come out like a very fine mist. I wouldn't call it like a rain or anything like that. So yeah, take that into consideration too. If you do want something that you can have like a bit of a heavier mist on, it might not be the product for you. But especially if you're going to be doing like a big bioactive wall like what I've got behind me there. Garage is a mess at the moment, so I apologize about that, guys. But yeah, if you're doing a big bioactive wall like that, plus all the parts, and you can get some of the parts for pretty cheap. So whilst you probably still need to get, I'm pretty sure you can only use the Mist King nozzles with them, but some of like the T intersections and stuff, you could look up like RODI line at like hardware stores and stuff like that do like water filtering systems, or they do what else I got some of the parts on eBay, like some of the joiners and stuff on eBay. Yeah, if you just look like RODI joiners and stuff like that, I think it's the 3/4 inch. No, that doesn't sound right. Half inch or something like that. I can't remember the exact dimensions of it. But you can buy those for reasonably cheap on eBay, so you don't have to buy like the Mist King actual ones. But the Mist King parts, they're all black, so they look quite neat, which is good. But yeah, definitely. I reckon they're hands down the best system. I'm working hard so that I can donate you $100. Well, thank you so much. That would be absolutely awesome if you could. But yeah, no pressure. You don't have to do that if you don't want to, especially if you've got to work so hard. More than welcome to get your money. I built my own misting system from scratch. Super easy to do. I haven't seen it yet, Vivscape, but if you can do a video on how you did that, then that'd be fantastic. And I'll post it up over on my pages and stuff if you shoot me the link, or let me know when you've popped it up. I should get an email notification anyway. Quarterline, there you go. Quick connections, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, if you've got a link or something like that, or if you already have done a video, make sure to drop it in the comments here below. And if not, shoot me up a link when you do get it up, and I'll post it everywhere, all over my social medias as well. But yeah, there you go. Apparently, I'm a genuine YouTuber. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, so misting systems are obviously an awesome way to keep your animals hydrated, and it takes a little bit of thought process out of that. I'll definitely be probably never parting with my misting system for these guys. And I know that they appreciate it pretty heavily too. So yeah, it's an integral part of keeping my frogs nice and happy, I'd say. The only thing you want to do is make sure, depending on the species that you're keeping, you don't overwater them too. So, not all frogs love being in 100% humidity. So, just keep that in mind. I don't really have anybody being too active at the moment. It's kind of that time before the lights go out. They might go out pretty shortly here. The bioactive tanks have already gone. Means these guys won't be too far behind. Just sort of take a punt and see if this little one was awake. Wasn't actually awake, but you're out now. It's one of my younger diamond pythons. Such a beautiful little animal. Can I say hello to everyone? Yeah, it's such a nice little snake. It's starting to look a little bit dusty too, so they might be coming into a shed shortly. Unfortunately, the laptop's washed out the colour completely on it. Worst bite I've taken from a reptile. I had a beauty from a 7-foot Bredli quite a few years back. Left quite the mark. I'll send you a photo later. Yeah, I'd love to see that. Worst bite. Pain-wise, I actually had probably my worst bite recently. And it was from like just about an 18-month-old carpet python, just over an 18-month-old carpet python. And the reason it was so bad is I got distracted at work while I was actually feeding it. So it turned around and had a feeding response on me. I don't know. But as it bit me, it got me right on the finger, and it was twisting. And it just had its teeth so deep, and I could just feel it like really twisting at me. Like I've taken some big hits from some bigger snakes and stuff like that, but it's always been kind of like a bite and let go type scenario, whereas this thing was like on like Donkey Kong and really grinding into me. So yeah, it was pretty painful. Can't lie about that. And it's only a small snake, so yeah, that's probably the worst one. Although I have had a good one where I've got bitten by a blue tongue kind of on my hand, like just here, but it just clamped me. So that didn't tickle either. It was just crushing power more than anything. It felt like I had my hand in a vice grip. How many snakes do I have? I don't know. Let me do a quick count. 1, 2, what, not in there. 5, 7. I'll put that over there. 12, 13, 15. I got 15 snakes. So not too many. At one stage I had probably about 120 pythons. Oh, there you go, the lights to that side. It's going to be dark here soon, guys. Yeah, so 15 snakes. That's plenty of snakes for me right now. I'll put this little one back. Or actually, not just yet. EJ hasn't seen it for too long. Hey EJ, how you doing, mate? Hope you got those keys back all right. I was just getting one of my diamond pythons out to say good day to everybody. It's actually asleep, so woke the poor little bugger up. Was up basking. That's always why I use a hook too. Not necessarily to, you know, that I'm scared of the animals, but it just gives them a chance to kind of react all right and wake up without my hand being the first thing that they see. Oh, sweet, EJ. Did you end up going up to Rick and getting him, or did you get him off somebody else? See you later, laptop. What? Can't let you down there, bud. I love golden tail geckos. They're one of those ones that I'd probably quite happily get back in the collection. At least it's a small animal. These big guys that can take up the space. I think I'd get some spiny tails over some golden tails though, just because I haven't had them yet. It'd be nice to kind of keep a species that I haven't had. But I'm quite content with the geckos that I have as well. I think if I was lucky enough to breed some more leafies, I'd probably hold on to some leafies. Oh, Wattle Reptiles. What's his name? Is that Michael? Michael Connolly? Connolly. Is that right? I want to say that's right. If it's the guy I'm thinking of, he's a really nice guy too. I think we actually picked up reptiles for the shop once off him. I think we picked up some blue tongues or something one year from him. Can't quite remember. Yeah, cool. Obviously a little bit bigger than the one that you had recently then. At least they should be big enough that you can pop them straight into that awesome enclosure that you've set up. So that's exciting. Yeah. Well, I might be jumping off here soon, guys. Just because I got dinner probably not too far away. But I just thought I'd get on here and say good day to everybody. 7 centimeters. Oh, sweet. Yeah, so a bit of decent size to them. That's good. That's what you need at the end of the day. So, we've got a few more questions coming through. Let's answer these quickly. What would you set up for? What would your setup be for a Hatchie Northern Velvet? Something not too big. I'd probably just do them in something small, like even if it was like a 30 centimeter cube type terrarium, something in that sort of vicinity. I'll probably keep it reasonably basic, maybe just like a thin layer of like Yuki mulch or something like that, and just a few pieces of kind of like like gum tree bark or whatever you can get off the trees or whatever, or some sort of bark slab. I'd be doing that across the back wall, just kind of like half leaning up on like a bit of a 45-degree angle so the animal can go behind that as a hide. Maybe mist it a couple of times a week, otherwise just provide a water bowl and feed some little crickets and roaches, dusted with vitamin D3 powder, especially if you're not doing any UV light on them. Depending if your room's pretty warm, then I probably wouldn't heat them. If not, you could try like maybe this little 5-watt heat mat on one side of the cage or something like that, just so it does have a little bit of a warm spot to go to. Michael Donnelly, that's it. I don't know why I had Connolly in my head. Now let me know how you go with your eggs if you do get some here, Joe, because we could come to some sort of agreement there. I might pick one up off you. We'll see how you go. I'm happy to help out any way I can. Alrighty, guys, I'm going to shoot off. It's been great to jump on and have a quick chat with you all, and hopefully I'll get back into the swing of doing this a little bit more regularly on Sunday nights. And we'll get a few more videos out there and see what happens. Alrighty, guys, take care. Enjoy your week. Hope everyone stays safe. See you all.